for the fans out here, man.
Oh, absolutely. I got this thing I want to get clipped, but it doesn't work if I say clip. So you handle it. I'll start from like here. The problem with hip hop knowledge is it's the only genre not backed by cultural expression. There's no existing culture of a hip hop nigga, right? You can't go find 9 of them niggas in a row living together. If you go to an R&B concert, you'll see Brian McKnight. He'll be in a blazer. He'll have his fucking watch on, and he'll be singing his love for his woman, essentially, right? Like that's all they'll be doing. And the nigga in the crowd will have on the same blazer, singing the same song. Black man who loves his family and his girl. All that. If you go to a rock concert, the drummer will have gothic nails, and so will the crowd. And when they leave, if you go see Meek, it's not another him in the whole city. It's not backed by a real culture. There's no group of people who exemplate the ideologies of a rap verse. Is that fair?
No, I disagree.
You seem lost.
No, I'm listening. I said I disagree. Because I feel like, unless I'm just not understanding clearly what you're saying, but for me, I feel like Meek's representation, like when you go to the rock show, you see the guy. When you go to, you know what I'm saying, Brian McKnight, you see the, you know what I mean, the suits and all that. When you go to a Meek Mill, Meek sees who he's talking about in his music. The young black kids and young impressionable kids who's, you know what I'm saying, going through. Sometimes it'd be like mad white people, depending on where they go and shit like that. But for the most part, like, you know, they go to certain spots. It's people that's up their neighborhood or people who want to inspire to that point or just enjoy the music, that live that lifestyle.
Okay. If you fuse the artist with his album, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
If we fuse the artist with the music, what do you get? The reason you fuse them is because that's how children view it. As a child, 50 Cent is a product of what he says in the interview, how he talks, walks, his characteristics, his mannerisms, his characteristic traits, plus his music. Plus the music creates the ensemble we see as 50.
Yeah.
It's the entire thing. So if you infuse Meek with the rhymes, what do you get?
Oh,
a nigga who does not exist.
I got you. You know, just to be fair, he got songs that does embody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
unfortunately, you can't just fuse 2 tracks. You fuse the album.
The album. I see what you're saying.
Meek said how many niggas could bring billionaires to the hood? How many niggas could bring billionaires to the hood? They tell you Meek did. Who could bring real niggas home for good? They tell you Meek did. All right, let's count on one hand how many niggas could simultaneously bring billionaires to the trenches and get niggas out of jail.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
This is what I mean. The ideologies of them aren't real. That's why it's a problem. It's not a real representation of music. Supposed to represent cultures that exist. It's a representation of the Kenlan, the Finland folk, the Inuit people. It's a representation of the kilts. They're not just up there in dresses. They're at the pub in the dress too. It's not a clothing wear on, wear off thing. It's hip hop has transformed into a level where it's not even reality anymore. Only a few people can do some shit like that. And they probably can't do the first one. Meek can. My bad. Shout out to you, Meek. Meek did. Oh, we know Meek did. Yes, he did. It wouldn't be another nigga who can do some shit like that for miles. That's why I said it's not 9 of them all in the community you can point to and say, yeah, here's where the folk music comes from. And then you see the folk people and you say, oh, that's why they click and pop like that. You can't do no shit. He's the only one in there on his chain. His nigga next to him ain't got that. It's a million niggas with Brian McKnight's whole outfit and his thought process. There's an actual world who exists behind Ruben Stutter. It's real. We call them simps. They'll do anything for their wife. They love their wife. They'll give them the stars, the moon, the mountains. They'll pull fucking this guy out the way for you without hurting nobody. Genuine ain't hurting nobody. He just loves you so much, and that guy ain't for you. But he ain't hurting nobody. These are real people. That's a real nigga we all know and love, who love his girl, love his family, do his thing. These are real existing people. The only people that bring billionaire to a hood is Meek. Why would they meet you there? They would just meet you on their terms, on their yacht, on their. To bring them to the trenches is a feat man can't accomplish. These are incomprehensible feats these niggas be enjoying. You taking Baby Honest? No. Okay. You want me to? Yes. But if you can't, it's okay. I wanted to say. Then stay. It's an incomparable feat. You can't do the shit they be saying they could do. Kim K could probably do that shit. She can get real niggas out of jail. Cause I actually heard that's what she doing. She can meet up with billionaires and Zara and CEOs of fucking Fendi. Kim K could actually facilitate a Meek verse better than Meek. Right. The person isn't real. That guy that it's because and it's mainly because the hip hop niggas. See, she goes, the hip hop niggas most wearable jacket. His brightest color jacket is hood rich. That's why, knowledge. The hip hop's brightest wearable jacket that they all want to wear the most is that they are simultaneously hood and rich. Hood rich are dichotomous. Knowledge, you can't be hood and rich. Either you need to change your definition of rich or change your definition of hood. But since Gucci Mane has convinced every nigga you could be hood rich, that's why you see them in the video or on the live, bunch of money, bunch of guns. They covered the hood, you see the guns, and they covered the rich with all the money they had. Only way you can be hood rich is by hitting licks. That's the only way you can bring that amount of money to this. The money isn't there in the hood for you to be rich off. You have to hit licks to do it. There's no proper way. You can't be simultaneously hood and rich. And then and it's funny because the last nigga, some niggas tried to tell me, oh, what if you sell drugs? They got run a criminal underworld, criminal empire. Nigga, that would, and then I followed. That would make so much sense. Only if the rapper's number 2 most wearable jacket is he's super solid. He's the most solid nigga you've ever seen. It doesn't get more solid than the rap nigga. How you gonna run a criminal underworld and be super solid? Nobody ever did it. At minimum, you have to work with them. Some degree, you have to work with enforcement in some degree to run any level of criminal underworld. You can't, that amount of money can't come to your little street, bro, without the data center seeing it, without people explain. You can't, money don't move invisibly like that. That's a fantasy. They're living off the old American gangsters legacy who's no longer prevalent and has transformed into just the CEO of something now. That street criminal ain't happening no more. And none of them stay solid. So unfortunately, your rapper has wrapped himself in an impossible box that he can't get out of. He's hood, which means he has a firm hold on the streets, but it has nothing to do with his financial income. He's rich. That means he can buy whatever the fuck he want and he lives consequence-free. But it has nothing to do with his hood. It's all separate because of who he is somehow. And he can tell the judge, suck his dick. He doesn't even work with the law to do any of this. Knowledge. Hip-hop has transformed to an unrecognizable place. You can't point to niggas who exemplify today's hip hop. They don't exist. There's a fantasy man. He's a fantasy man. You can't be hood and rich. To get rich, you got to put your head down, go to work, don't spend much, head down, buckle down, getting it done for 15 years straight. By the time you come out rich, you ain't hood no more. You've been gone for 15 years. You can't do it. It's not doable according to these niggas. And I don't know why the fuck our people keep falling for it. And I'm so frustrated with it. As a man who hip hop saved his life, the greatest thing of all time will be hip hop. I will defend it to the day and time. But what it is today, it's not what the fuck I'm talking about. That ain't no motherfucking hip hop. These niggas is goofballs. They're not rappers. And I think until it gets to a point of realism where you could point to the actual thing. Now, granted, yeah, there's songs that'll give you that, but I also think that's part of the problem. I see that as a problem too, in a way. But I think hip hop has crossed the line into fantasy world, and it's not fun no more. It's not relatable. You can't do nothing the nigga Dirk say he do. You can't exemplify not one piece of their information. And according to them, knowledge. If the song is, according to them, they can take as many drugs as they want and still drive straight and be coherent, and then still fuck the bitch and send her home in an Uber. If that, maybe a Lyft, maybe not, maybe, you know what I'm feeling. And they can do all of this stuff under the same body that took all the drugs, as if they're not human. It wouldn't react that way. That's the story in the song is he took all his pills, got on the plane, fucked your bitch specifically, and then maybe sent her home properly. But in the reality, they're on millions of dollars worth of child support. So you can't take drugs and have the wherewithal to put on a condom either, just like most of us. Drugs and sex equals children and child support 10 times out of 10. But for somebody, he's pretending he's bigger than the drugs, than the drug he's taking. And meanwhile, he has 9 motherfucking kids shelling out millions of dollars a month on this shit. He flew your favorite rapper goes all the way to London, get a girl pregnant, and then gotta pay for 18 years. He's lost the game of macking. These niggas ain't max and pips like these niggas ain't got it like that. They ain't got no game. They ain't like that. These boys get caught up all day to day with these bitches. They losing to the weakest women you can find. These niggas ain't, man, hip hop is a facade, knowledge. Now share that around. Hip hop is not real. There's no cultural expression of it. You can't find 9 Meeks living in a community. That means there's no culture. If it's one every 50 miles, it's not culture. It's rule. You the man. I appreciate your time. I'm gonna die behind this thing here, boy. I'm gonna die behind this thing here, boy. Hip hop. Love you.
Appreciate you, honor, man. And we're gonna keep spreading the word, man. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with a lot of what you're saying too, man. So once again, peace out to to baby girl. She held it down. You know what I'm saying?
She did. You held it down, I ain't gonna lie. I appreciate you, man. We always giving power. We always, hopefully, man, they like when we get on, you know what I'm saying? You know how we give it up.
Yes, sir. Yo, it's your boy.
You the man, brother.
Your honor. Let's get it.